Hooty hoo, all my listing legends. Welcome today. I'm Tall Mike. So glad you're here. Today we're going to be talking about how to use leverage to build your business. Now, there's a slow way to build it and a quick way to build it. Now, leverage helps you build it at a much faster pace. Now, before you can be a good agent, you have to be good at marketing. You have to become a good marketer. Marketing is what uses leverage to build your business. Now, you can go out there and you can knock on the door. You can say, hey, when do you plan on moving? And you can do that door after door after door after door. That has become the slow way to build your business. Now, 30, 40 years ago, that's the way it was done. That was called prospecting. Now, when I got into business, I hated prospecting, and that's why I didn't do very good when I first started out. But then I discovered this thing called marketing, and I found out that I loved marketing because it allowed me leverage to build my business. Now, time cannot really be levered. If you're out there knocking on the door, walking to the next one, knocking on the door, it's taking your time, right? There's only one of you. You have so much time, and you cannot use leverage if you're just trading your time for income. Okay, now a lot of people trade their time for income. People that work at an hourly wage, they trade their time for income. As a real estate agent, we don't want to do that because we get paid for our production, and we know that we can be much more productive if we use leverage, if we use marketing, if you will. Now, once again, I love postcards. Postcards are marketing for me. They're where I get my leverage. I can mail 5,000 postcards out, though I can only knock on one door at a time. So instead of going one to one, I'm going one, me, to 5,000, everybody in my target area, right, to build my business. And once again, now I always show you the postcard. It's nothing fancy, 9 by 12, but the business is on the back. Those are a vital part of my business. Why are they vital? Well, they provide leverage. I go one-to-one to them, and then they go out to their customers to find referrals for me. Now, why would they send me referrals? Well, because they want to be on my postcard and they want a discount. They want me to like them. They know, like, and trust me, but they want me to like them, right? They want to help me out, and how they do that is by bringing me referrals. Now, another way you can get leverage. Now, this is if you have a sphere of influence, if you already have a sphere. Now, some people are brand new in the business. Some people, they just moved to an area and they know absolutely nobody, and this won't work for you. But if you have a sphere, if you have past clients, if you have family and friends, you can use leverage once again. Now, how do I do this? I do this with a monthly newsletter, right? I send out a monthly newsletter, and I send it out in physical form because I have the addresses of my clients, right? I've sold them the house. I know where they live. I'm going to market to them through the mail. I'm going to send them a physical newsletter every month. Now, what's in the newsletter? Well, here's where real estate agents, they make that crucial mistake. Oh, they talk about themselves. Oh, they talk about real estate. People don't want to hear about you, and they really aren't that interested in real estate. But what do you want to do? You don't want to be boring. That's the last thing in the world you want to do. You don't want to be boring. Here's what I talk about, and it's not anything fancy. It's not anything high technology. I talk about the latest movie that I saw. Right? Let's say I went and saw the latest whatever it is, the latest James Bond movie. And then I'll say, hey, I went and saw this movie. It was so exciting. I don't want to give it away, but here's what you should go and check it out yourself, right? Okay, so I talk about movies. What else do I talk about? I talk about the local sports team. Local sports team, if they're doing well. If they're not doing well, some people don't want to hear about it. But in my area, I live in the San Francisco Bay Area, so the 49er football team or the Golden State Warriors, whichever one's doing well, whichever season it is, I talk about that in the newsletter. I say, hey, have you been to any games this year? Well, I just went to a game in here. We actually won the game. It was real exciting. And I just talk about that. You don't want to be boring in the newsletter, but you don't want to push your salesy self. You don't want to push, hey, I'm the best in my office. Hey, I closed 5 deals. You don't want to be pushy like that. You don't want to be a sales guy. You don't want to talk about real estate. You want to be the fun guy. You want to be like their friend that they would invite over for dinner, because I want to be invited over when they are ready to sell their house. I call that the come list me call. But a newsletter, anyways, I just type it out on the computer. I print it out. It's 2 pages. I fold them, put them in envelopes, and I send them out. Very simple to do, but it's just one of me, but I can send those out to everybody. And those people I get the referrals from because they know, like, and trust me, and they know people. And when you're out there, you know people. They talk about real estate sometimes, and sometimes they mention that they might be selling. Sometimes they might even ask, do you have a good referral of a real estate agent? Well, if you're sending them this newsletter every month, you're top of mind, right? You're top of mind. They already know, like, and trust you. Yeah, you just reminded them, and now they got someone asking them about real estate, and they're going to refer them to you. So a newsletter is a way to get leverage in the real estate business. You send them out to the 500 people you know. Maybe you don't know 500. Maybe you only know 200. Doesn't matter. Maybe you only know 50. Maybe you only know 10. When I first started out, I sent them to 20 people. You know how many deals I got out of 20 newsletters? I got 2 referrals. Not 1, but 2. 2 referrals came out of my newsletter. You think I kept going out the newsletter? Of course I did. Newsletters will get you referrals. It's a way to get that leverage. Now, here's the thing. Leverage is going to keep your pipeline full, right? If you have a pipeline full of listings of people who are ready to sell right now at a price that is acceptable to the marketplace, you will be making money if you have a pipeline full like that. Now, the best real estate agents, they have a very large pipeline. Now, my number one way that I get my listings is through postcards. Postcards build up my pipeline. Now, why do I like postcards? Well, it's predictable. It's very predictable. I know that where my next listings are coming from. Now, referrals are great, but they're not as predictable. You want to have predictability in your business. So the leverage that I use is the big giant postcard out to 5,000 people. I know that's going to get me a listing. It just is. It's how it works. Now, it doesn't work every time, but it works most of the time. And I know that I can depend on it, right? So if you want to be a successful agent, you want to build your pipeline as big as you can build it, okay? And there's nothing, a lot of agents, they think that real estate's all about technology. It's not about technology. Real estate is about people. Now, people you want to make contact with, you want to get people to chase you. I do that with my newsletter. I do that with postcards. I do that by going out and talking to the small businesses. Now, most of these small businesses I use anyways. I go and get a pizza from him. His name's Alex. He's got a great little pizza place, and he runs ads right on my postcard, right? But he also sends me business from his customers. You see, we built up a relationship. And sometimes what I'll do is say, hey, Alex, how's business? He goes, not that good. Hey, Alex, let me help you out. I'm going to mention in my newsletter about that they can come in and mention my name, Tall Mike, and you'll give them half off on their next pizza. How's that sound? And Alex goes, that'd be great, Mike. And I do that for them for free. And my customers love it because they got my newsletter. I make a little coupon that says from Tall Mike on to his pizza place, and it just works like a champ, right? He's happy, I'm happy, but it built good rapport. That's how you build a pipeline. Look, you need to get attention for yourself. Most agents, they don't get attention. The only time they get attention is when they're being a pest, when they're knocking on the door, interrupting the people. Hey, when do you plan on moving? That's being a pest. When they pick up the phone, you call them and they're busy doing something else. Hey, when do you plan on moving? That's being a pest. You don't want to be a pest, and you don't have to be a pest. Use these leverage systems, use marketing, and that way they'll come to you. Now, true, sometimes they interrupt me. Sometimes my phone rings and I'm eating dinner, but they're saying, hey, Mike, come on over and list my property. Now, am I upset that they interrupted my dinner? No, I'm not upset. I go over after dinner and I list the property. It's really that simple, right? That's all you got to do, but they need to see see you. You need to get in front of them. And how I get in front of them is with my postcards. Now, my postcard gets me listings in their neighborhood, so I got my listing signs up. And then when I have the open house, I put my signs all around the neighborhood. So they're seeing my signs out there. They're seeing my postcards out there. The businesses are referring them to me. This is a system that works. If you want to know how to implement this system, it took me years to perfect it. It's not as easy as it sounds, but it does work. If you want to know how to do it, just go to listinglegend.com. Type in your name and email. I'll send you how the system works, the complete system. It's very fascinating. It take you a couple minutes to go over there and put it, not even a couple seconds. Go over there, type in your name and email. If you like this stuff, give me the thumbs up. I'm Tall Mike. Now get out there and get those listings, but use leverage. Leverage is a key. Bye-bye now.